Hey guys, it's Alex, and I'm here with the first official top 5 video of 2019. Today I decided to talk about my top 5 anticipated reads of 2019, and these are my anticipated reads, not releases. I don't pay too much attention to new releases, and I do tend to read a couple per year, but generally I don't plan them, and it's nothing I'm too excited about. It's just I realized like the week before or something, or a few weeks after that it's come out, and I'm like, sounds interesting, pick it up. But I think I only read 3 or 4 last year, and this year I just decided to talk about my top 5 books that I need to read, that I've been meaning to read for a very long time and have never gotten around to. The first book on this list is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I don't like this edition, it's very small, and it's very thick, but this is one of my boyfriend's favorite books. He loves it. He thinks it's funny. He has a very strange sense of humor, but our sense of humor is kind of similar, so I'm kind of curious about this book. I picked it up and tried to start reading it when I was about 16 and in high school, and I got about 20 or 30 pages in before I was incredibly bored. I wasn't expecting the epistolary format. All I knew about Dracula was kind of what I know from pop culture and what I know from watching Van Helsing from like 2004, which makes me realize how old I am. That's really not what this book is at all, which is fine. It just, at 16 I was kind of expecting action and horror and scary things, and that's really not what Dracula is. I think at 25 I might have a better time getting through this book. It's one that I really want to read, I really want to get through, and I think I could potentially really like this book. It's the only horror book I'm officially planning to read this year, and I might read more horror, but like this one is a definite must for me. The next book on my list is a duology that I intended to get to last year because it's also one of my boyfriend's favorite books of all time, and that is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I want to read both Jurassic Park and Lost World, and I meant to last year, and I don't remember exactly why I didn't. I think I just wound up with too many books on too many TBRs and just drowning in TBR books, so I didn't get to this as I like to. My boyfriend never finished Lost World, so he really wants me to read both of them and tell him if he should go back to Lost World, which means I have to read these books. And they're books that I've seen the movie for, and I really enjoy the movie. But I don't read a lot of books that are like this, that are sort of like sci-fi action type books, so I'm really curious how I'll feel about it. And another series that I was telling people all last year I was going to read in the fall and then the winter, and now it's turned into a 2019 book that I really need to get through. Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I've never read these books. I've never seen the movies. Although actually I have both read and seen the movie for Fellowship. I read Fellowship in a fantasy course I took where we read a lot of the classic fantasy books, and I watched the movie for that class and really enjoyed it. It's not going to be a favorite for me, but it is one that I'm not going to hate going through. I also need to read The Hobbit, so that goes under this. The Hobbit is not a separate thing on this list, although it really could be if I wanted to count it as that. But these are just books I feel like I need to read them for the context of literature history, for the context of the fantasy genre. I don't think I'm going to be the kind of person who's just falling in love with these and like they're my new favorite thing ever, but I really, really need to read them. I have no excuse. I have none. I've read so many books and I've never read Lord of the Rings. Next is a much newer release, and the newest release on this list, which is still several years old, I believe, and I'm really excited to read it, and that is Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. I love Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls a lot. I love Parenthood. I just really love Lauren Graham. And I've never read this book, or her autobiography, memoir. I want to read that as well, but this is the one that I own, and because I own it, and have owned it for about a year I think, I have no excuse to not have read this book. I really want to read this book. It sounds really good, but I'm worried that it's not going to be really good because Lauren Graham is an actress, and she is a wonderful actress, and I love her as an actress, but I'm picky about my books, and I'm kind of worried that she is a better actress than she is a writer, but we shall see. I'm very interested to read this though. I do like women's fiction books, so hopefully this will be a book that I wind up loving, because I would hate to have anything mar my love for Lauren Graham. And the final book on this list needs no introduction. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I know everyone hates this book, or not everyone, but a lot of Harry Potter fans didn't like this book. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. I do like sort of very slow, small town type drama things that are just like, lots of crabby people shoved together. So maybe I'll like this. I don't know. I don't really know very much about what it's about. I'm very curious, and it's been on my shelf for years. I picked this up years ago at a thrift store because some disgruntled Harry Potter fan probably ditched it very quickly. But I have no excuse not to have read it. I'm just concerned that I'm not going to love it quite as much as Harry Potter, which I'm sure I won't, just because Harry Potter is my childhood and that's sort of unrealistically high expectations. But I'd still really like to enjoy this book. And I feel bad starting her other series, the Robert Galbraith series, the Cormoran Strike series, I guess I should say, before reading this because this has been out for so much longer. But I need to read it. I need to read all these books. They just need to get done this year because I have no excuse not to have read every single one of them. Let me know down below what some of the books you need to get to this year are. I have more than just these 5, but I narrowed the list down to just like the ones that need to get done. Absolutely. I need to read these, all of these. Probably not in the first bit of the year, but hopefully soon I can get through these and get them done very, very quickly. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all again soon.